Welcome back, focused learners. Let's face it, absolutely nothing derails a brilliant flow of academic writing quite like hitting a brick wall of citation rules. I mean, it's that universal collective struggle we've all shared, right? You've got the perfect argument mapped out, your research is rock solid, the words are literally flying off your keyboard, and then you realize you have to format the references. Suddenly, it's like you're trying to defuse a bomb blindfolded. We have all been there, sweating over where a comma goes, or if a year needs brackets, totally terrified of losing precious marks on a simple technicality. Well, in this explainer, we're going to strip away all that confusion together. We're uncovering the pure, elegant mechanics of how Harvard in-text citations actually work. No memorizing a stressful textbook, we're just looking at the underlying logic. So, let's jump right in.
Section 1. The core citation formula. Let's crack the Harvard code. Okay, so here is your absolute baseline rule. At its core, a Harvard in-text citation connects just two vital pieces of information, the creator's name and the year it was published. That creator might be a single author's surname, or it could be an organization's name if it's a corporate author. And that's it. Just those two elements form the foundational building block for the whole shebang. Now, you might be wondering, why just these two? Well, it's actually a brilliant piece of design. The goal here is to give your reader an immediate, unobtrusive roadmap to your reference list at the very end of the paper without totally cluttering up your beautiful sentences with extra metadata. You literally just pair the creator with the time of creation. Imagine you're citing this fascinating breakthrough study on sleep deprivation by an author named Miller in 2022. You don't need the journal title, the volume number, or the city of publication right there in your paragraph. You just need Miller, and you need 2022. Or say you're citing a major public health report, you just need the World Health Organization and the year 2021. Once you master this simple creator plus time baseline, you've already won half the battle. Everything else is just a minor variation on this core theme.
Moving on to Section 2. Placement matters. Parenthetical versus narrative forms.
Knowing the formula is great, but the real power comes from knowing exactly how to deploy it in the wild. You actually have a lot of stylistic freedom here, and it mostly divides into two approaches, parenthetical and narrative. Let's look at the parenthetical form first. This is when the citation sits completely inside brackets, usually tucked away neatly at the very end of your thought or sentence. Both the author's name and the year are trapped inside those brackets. You'll want to use this when the information itself is the star of the show. Imagine you're listing off some heavy statistics about climate change, right? The reader cares most about the data, so you deliver the facts and then quietly drop the parenthetical citation at the end. But then we have the narrative form. This is a much more active approach. Here, the author's name becomes a living, breathing part of your written sentence. It drives the narrative forward, and only the publication year is kept inside the brackets right after their name. You'll use this when you're leaning on a famous expert's credibility. If you write according to Miller, you're pulling Miller right into the room with the reader. Grasping this distinction gives your writing incredible dynamic range. It lets you control the rhythm of your arguments while staying perfectly compliant with the rules.
Section 3. Precision tools. The rules for direct quotes.
So we've covered general references, but what happens when you're zooming in on a very specific detail or borrowing someone's exact words? Well, that requires a higher level of precision. When you quote directly from a text, that baseline rule of author and year just isn't quite enough on its own. You've got to add precision tools. Depending on the exact Harvard-style variant your institution uses, you'll need to add a page number, a paragraph number, a section, or maybe even a timestamp. Think of these additions like giving exact GPS coordinates to your reader. Just imagine the immense frustration of a professor who wants to verify a brilliant quote you used, only to realize you cited a dense, 600-page textbook with no page number. I mean, they'd have to read the whole book to find one sentence. By adding a page number, you direct them to the exact spot. And hey, this isn't just for dusty old books anymore. With modern research, you might be citing a 2-hour-long podcast interview or documentary. In those cases, dropping a specific timestamp into your citation proves you've done the meticulous work and it deeply respects your reader's time.
All right, Section 4. The hard boundaries. The reference list match.
Enter the matching rule. This is a totally non-negotiable, hard boundary in academic writing. Every single in-text citation you write absolutely must match a full, detailed entry in your reference list at the very end of your document. They do not exist in a vacuum, they're part of a tightly sealed ecosystem. Think of your in-text citation as a key, and the reference list as the lock. If the key doesn't fit a lock at the end of your paper, the entire system breaks down and your reader is left completely stranded.
There is, however, one incredibly logical exception to this rule: certain personal communications. And it makes total sense when you think about it. If you interviewed a local expert for your paper or got a detailed email from a researcher, your reader can't just go to a library and look up your private inbox, right? Because the source isn't publicly recoverable, there is literally nothing to put in the reference list. So those specific types of communications stay locked strictly within the text of your paper. But for absolutely everything else, books, journals, websites, videos, it must be a total one-to-one match.
Now, we have all been here. It's 2 a.m., your paper is due the next morning, you find the absolute perfect online article that supports your thesis, and it is incredibly tempting to just copy that massive, messy, 3-line web address and paste it right into the middle of your paragraph. Let this serve as a massive warning sign. Do not insert the complete URL into the sentence as a substitute for a citation. Just never do it. Think about that elegant, streamlined formula we established back in Section 1. Dropping a raw hyperlink filled with random percentages, numbers, and slashes completely destroys the reading experience. It forces the reader's internal monologue to a screeching halt. It looks incredibly sloppy, and honestly, it bypasses the entire point of the author date system. Always extract the author and year for the text to keep your sentences flowing smoothly, and save that bulky, complex URL exclusively for the final reference list where it belongs.
And finally, Section 5, the ultimate cheat code: automating your citations. So, we understand the mechanics now. We know the baseline rules, the stylistic placement, the precision tools, and the hard boundaries. But after learning all these manual steps, discovering a tool to automate it feels like an absolute massive relief. The Harvard Reference Generator at harvardreferencegenerator.co.uk is the ultimate resource for a student's workflow. By using this specific tool, you can automatically produce flawlessly formatted in-text citations alongside your full references. And the most powerful aspect of this? It adapts to the nuanced, sometimes frustratingly specific rules of your individual university program. Every institution seems to tweak the Harvard style just a little bit, but here you just select your required variant, plug in your source material, and let the generator handle all the complex formatting mechanics. This is really about managing your cognitive load. By freeing up the mental space you'd normally spend tracking brackets and commas, you can focus entirely on what actually matters, and what actually earns you the high grades: your research, your compelling narrative, and your brilliant arguments. So are you ready to cite flawlessly, or will your next paper be lost to bad formatting? That is the provocative question I want to leave you with at the end of this explainer. You now possess the complete map, and more importantly, you understand the logic behind it. We've journeyed from the foundational formula of pairing the creator and the year, through the stylistic choices of parenthetical and narrative forms, all the way to wielding precision tools like timestamps and page numbers. You understand exactly why the reference list match is a non-negotiable boundary, and you have the automation tool to guarantee your precision every single time. So take this knowledge, ditch the citation anxiety, apply these mechanics to your writing right now, and watch your academic confidence absolutely soar. Thank you so much for uncovering this system with me. Keep focused, and I'll see you on the next one.